Ford F-Series trucks have been topping the bestseller charts for decades. To achieve such a level of popularity, a vehicle must offer exceptional levels of performance in all categories. Today we will give our insights on what are the 2024 Ford F-150's biggest pros and cons. These are the things that make the new F-150 good. Number 3. The F-Series caters to all tastes. As mentioned before, the F-150 is one of the best-selling vehicles in the world. Despite the fact that it sells only in North America, the F-Series Ford is truly America's workhorse and one of the symbols of the country. But what makes it so popular? What made it the engine of America? Well, the answer is simple. It's the engine. Or in the case of the 2024 F-150, multiple engines. One of the main reasons this truck is so popular is that it really caters to all tastes. Whatever are your preferences or wishes for the power unit that hauls you and your stuff around, the 2024 F-150 has it covered. From an average Joe who just needs a work truck to petrol heads who want unparalleled performance and power, this pickup has it all. Wish that your pickup truck was more eco-friendly? Don't worry, Ford has thought about you too, as there is a hybrid and even a fully electric version called the Lightning you can choose from. Although, a hybrid pickup truck still sounds like a vegan grizzly bear. But who are we to judge? Starting the range is a 2.7-liter naturally aspirated V6 with 325 horsepower and 400 pound-feet of torque. For those who can't live without good old American iron, or in this case aluminum as the block is made of that metal, there is a V8 option. With a displacement of 5 liters, this motor delivers 400 horsepower and 410 pound-feet to the road. A V8 is too old school for you? Well, then you are able to choose from 3 flavors of a turbocharged 3.5-liter V6. 400 horsepower and 500 pound-feet are the numbers for this engine in the standard trim. If you opt for the Raptor, you'll get the same engine with a little more oomph. 450 horsepower and 510 pound-feet will happily propel your truck through every terrain imaginable. The third option is the same engine paired with an electric motor and battery pack to produce a questionable 430 horsepower and 570 pound-feet, producing eco-friendlier power plant called the Ford Power Boost. If even that is too old school, there is a fully electric F-150 Lightning for you. 452 horsepower and 775 torques in a truck the size of a medium-sized European house and with no tailpipe emissions is an impressive performance. And of course, topping the range is an earth-shattering, fire-breathing, and climate-warming supercharged 5.2-liter V8 with monstrous 700 horses and 640 torques under the hood. Some colleagues in this channel strongly imply that this should be the only option available. Every engine except the Lightning is paired with a modern 10-speed transmission with 2- or 4-wheel drive, depending on the specific trim. Speaking of trims, with all that are available, and there are quite a few, there is no doubt you'll find an F-150 that will suit you like, well, a tailor-made suit. Number 2. Towing capacity. Having moved America for almost a century now, a pickup truck is all about cargo capacity and towing power. And if you think the F-150 will provide some obscene, eye-wateringly large numbers, you would be right. 13,500 pounds is a number that a 2024 Ford F-150 can happily tow. Although it must be said that the V6 is rated for that number. The V8 can manage 500 pounds less. To what we in this channel want to say, the same Greta Thunberg said in a climate convention. How dare you, Ford? The hybrid model, having more power and torque, also somehow can tow even less at 12,700 pounds. Probably due to the fact it has to compensate for an enormous battery it has to haul around at all times. Don't get us wrong. Those are truly impressive numbers. As impressive as the rated cargo capacity of 3,325 pounds, a number that suits the needs of an average American cowboy or a small European town. Number 1. Truck-related options and practicality. While classic pickups were nothing more than a cab for the driver and bed for the cargo on wheels, long gone are those days. The pickup truck of the 21st century is a completely different beast. Recently, we saw the forthcoming of modern options implemented into pickup trucks to make them more friendly to the end user. And Ford started it all with the Assist Step, a handy feature which would allow easy access into the cargo bed and then neatly stow away when not used. And so started the tailgate wars. The competition retaliated with more and more refined tailgate options. Yet the 2024 F-150 will have a system of its own. And guess what? the assist step is still there. Also, there will be the usual, now popular and mandatory spaces to stow away some less used stuff or more valuable cargo. But the feature that sets the new 2024 Ford F-150 aside from its competition is the fact that this pickup truck can be used as an off-grid generator. Although an optional extra, this feature already sells like hot buns. Ford's ProPower onboard provides 7.2 kilowatts of power, which is plenty enough to power almost all electric appliances and tools. Even in professional applications, there is even this one guy who connected an industrial welding machine to the truck. You can say what you want, but that is impressive. We can already see the private contractors queuing in front of Ford dealerships just to get their hands on the 2024 model. While the F-150 does most things right, there are some it does not. Number 3. Raptor is thirsty. The 2024 F-150 is in his 14th generation. In fact, it is one of the longest manufactured automobiles in the entire world. With this much experience, it is hard to find something wrong with the truck. But in this channel, we will leave no stone unturned to provide our viewers with valuable information. So one of the main drawbacks of the F-150 is the abysmal fuel economy of the Raptor R. All that glorious supercharged V8 goodness sure demands to be fed quite frequently. Do not get the wrong idea. We love this engine, but you must drive like a senior wearing feather slippers to come even close to the advertised 10.3 miles per gallon city and 14.8 miles per gallon highway. If you try to push the thing for what it's capable of doing, do not expect to see anything less than single-digit numbers. And although a 700 horsepower supercharged V8 sounds good on paper, in the gas station, it is you who will make sad sounds of pain and disappointment when looking at those numbers on the pump. In this economy, it's just too hard to justify such wastefulness. Number 2. Oversensitive brakes on the hybrid. While not a major flaw yet, some reviewers and customers have noted the excessively sensitive brake pedal on the hybrid model. This can be explained by the construction and general design of the system. Modern hybrid vehicles try to maximize the energy efficiency as much as possible. They even store the kinetic energy produced while braking and convert it to electricity, which can be used to power the vehicle. Sounds complicated? Well, because it is. Different systems must be perfectly in tune with one another to ensure optimal performance. First, the electric motors go to work and try to slow the vehicle as much as possible while working as generators. Then the traditional hydraulic brakes take over to end the job. If the calibration and programming is slightly off, the result can be an oversensitive brake pedal, which is exactly the case in the new F-150. Of course, it's nothing terrible, like a lack of brakes would be, but it can be annoying and requires getting used to. Number 1. The lack of cosmetic upgrades. Subjectively speaking, the F-150 never was the best-looking truck on the market. Despite being immensely popular, the looks of this generation are a tad boring and unimaginative. One could even say, outdated. While the current design pays homage to the legendary square-body trucks of the 70s and 80s, in our humble opinion, there are better examples of implementing vintage design on the market. While most F-150 owners probably buy the truck not for its appearance, the overall look of the truck could be improved. If you agree with this statement, prepare to be disappointed, because for the 2024 model year, nothing much changes and the new Ford F-150 will keep its well-recognized face. We won't go into every minute detail of every insignificant change. To keep things short and straightforward, let's just say you'll have a hard time telling a 2024 and an older F-150 apart. With all that being said, the new 2024 Ford F-150 sure has a lot more good going for it and makes its flaws look insignificant compared to the benefits it offers. The F-150 does almost nothing bad, and what it does good, it's almost industry-leading. With all the options, the latest technology, and its legendary reputation, we can't see any reason why this pickup wouldn't dominate the light-duty market for another year.